Hello, beautiful Sagittarius. Thank you for being here. My name is Jaden and this is Lighthouse 36. Today I'm doing a general reading for the Sagittarius Collective for the month of September 2026. I cleansed the space before we started and tapped into your energy. And the image that I received in the messages was initially I saw someone kind of just freezing in the cold, like shivering in the cold, like with their arms crossed in front of their chest, trying to keep themselves warm. And I feel like recently maybe you felt like you were left out in the cold. Things seemed frozen and stuck for you, and you weren't sure, like your survival was kind of in question. Um, and even if maybe it wasn't as severe as your survival being in question, but you just feeling like you were left out in the cold, um, you know. Um and then what I saw was a snake. It's summer or spring suddenly. I see a little snake moving in the grass really quickly, and a windmill as well, blowing in the wind, turning. So the snake represents healing. I feel there's been some healing. There's some freedom here. Moving, you're moving quickly now, whereas before you felt frozen and stuck and left out in the cold. Now it's sunny. The winter's over. You're moving through the grass quite quickly and easily, smoothly. Things are much smoother for you. The wheel has turned with the windmill. The wheel has turned in your favor. Which is just beautiful. Okay, let's get some messages from Spirit through the cards. Let's see how, this vision relates to this reading, or maybe not. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Okay, Spirit, can you please give us an overall theme for September 2026 for the Sagittarius Collective? Yeah, spiritual strength. So when you were frozen out, okay, it took a lot of spiritual strength to get you through this. I think you learned a lot of lessons. It was a time of reflection. Um, I'm hearing even a time of survival, and you really tapped into the power within you. Sometimes when we fall upon bad times, we have no choice but to turn to spirit. We become like our spirituality deepens. When things are going good, sometimes we're not thinking of spirit at all. And it's when times get bad or tough that we do. So you really tapped into your spiritual strength here during this difficult time. And I believe that's what helped you get out of this. And now that the good times are here, you're not going to forget. There's been a lot of healing here with the snake. Okay, can you please expand on this, Spirit? Please expand on spiritual strength. You now know that you have the fortitude to deal with anything that comes your way after this difficult period. And if you're, still in the frozen part, the shivering cold part, on the timeline for Sagittarius, know that this is going to be changing soon. Tap into that spiritual strength. Okay, so Mizan, which is the judgment card here, this was part of your karma. Excuse me, this was part of your karma. You're answering a call now. You're like the phoenix rising from the ashes, or here it's represented by butterflies. There's been a transformation here. That moment in time where you were left out in the cold, it was kind of like when the caterpillar goes into the cocoon and completely dissolves and transforms, okay, into a beautiful butterfly. It was kind of like that period in your life, like a pause, a time of transmutation, and you've come out a new person on the other side. And now you know what you're capable of. Yeah, Ace of Coins. There's a new beginning here, an inspired beginning, potential for great abundance here. You're planting seeds of abundance, okay? And there's a great chance for prosperity here. There's a new beginning. Yeah, Eight of Coins. You're working very hard now at something. You're focused on your goals now. You know, maybe previously it was about survival or just getting through the day or even the moment. But now that things have started to settle, you're focused now on your goals more than ever because you don't want that to ever happen to you again. Sorry, my cat was on the desk and he has black fur and the desk is white. It's not a good combination. Okay, Spirit, please clarify spiritual strength. We're going to get some clarifiers now. Yeah, look at this. Look at the exhaustion here. You were just exhausted, not knowing what else to do. This is the Eight of Swords, feeling very stuck, like you're not going to get yourself, you don't know how you're going to get yourself out of this, feeling very stuck. And here with the Death card, there was an ending of some sort. So there's an ending and there's a new beginning. This woman doesn't look too happy. Her children look worried, you know, and they're moving. The house is for sale. You know, like there was an unknown future here. But things are starting to settle now. I'm sorry that you went through such a difficult time. But sometimes when we go through challenging times, you know, when we come out on the other side, we're really happy about it. You know, maybe not at first, but eventually. I feel like for you, this feeling of, okay, thank goodness this is over, you know, like it's set your course in a completely different direction, or you're more determined ever now to reach your goals now that things have settled and you're not just focused on survival or getting by, you know, day to day or moment to moment. For the Judgment card, the clarification is Queen of Cups. So you've brought yourself into balance emotionally here. You're much more emotionally balanced now, emotionally regulated. It is possible with the Queen of Cups that your goals may have something to do with counseling others, serving as an inspiration for others. Maybe, you know, you're going back to school and becoming a social worker or a counselor, or maybe you're taking some courses. Maybe you're going to be a tarot reader on YouTube or a life coach, something along these lines, but it doesn't have to be. Um, but there's emotional regulation here. Um, you're now making decisions from an emotionally balanced place, you know, because you're not focused on just survival or getting by anymore. You're settling in now. Or it could be that you even sought counsel during this difficult period. Maybe you were the type of person before who, you know, kind of hermit, never reaching out to anyone for help, but you reached out for help. Maybe this was part of your karma, part of your lessons to learn how to reach out for help when you need it. Okay, Ace of Coins. Yeah, Four of Swords. Now you can rest, okay? You're working on what you are focused on. You're working on your goals, okay? But you're also striking a balance. Now there's time to play. There's time to rest. You can relax a little bit now. And the Eight of Coins, please, Spirit. Eight of Coins. Oh, look at this, for sale. So the lovers. Yeah, there's now you have more choices in front of you. It's very interesting. Here the house is for sale, and here but this person is selling their house. Here they're thinking about purchasing a house, okay? There's like more choices now ahead of you. You feel like you have more choices, more resources. You're not just focused on survival. And also with the lovers, it's something that you're passionate about. Like when you're just surviving and, going from day to day, like in kind of automatic mode, doing what you have to do to get through your day, you know, you're not really following what you're passionate about. Now that you've passed that phase, it's like you're focused on your goals and you're going after something that you're passionate about, something that brings you joy, that makes your heart skip a beat or beat faster. You're wanting to live a more passionate life, is what I'm hearing. Living a more passionate life now. Okay, let's get a message from Archangel Michael. And it could very well be that you've met someone wonderful, you know, you've met someone wonderful and they've just brought so much joy to your life. It could be a romantic partner, and you don't feel so alone in the world that now you have this person with you. They encourage you. They bring out the best in you. They don't require you to dim your light. They want you to shine your light. They encourage you to shine your light. They're not threatened by it. Okay, Archangel Michael, any last message for the Sagittarius Collective for the month of September 26? Any confirmation, clarification, or additional message, please? Archangel Michael's taking his time here. Okay, there's two cards that have come out. One fell on the floor. I'm not sure where it went. Let me just grab that. Oh, wow. Archangel Michael wants you to know that during this difficult period, um, they've been with you, okay? During this difficult period. Archangel Michael is with you now. Even though you can't see it, I am actively working on this situation. I am here helping you. So during this difficult period, Archangel Michael has been with you and protecting you. So even sometimes when we don't initially get what we want, rejection is Spirit's protection sometimes, or God's protection, okay? So Archangel Michael has been with you and is with you, helping you get through this, whatever this is, even if you're now on the other side, um, uh, uh, he's still helping you, or they're still helping you, okay? Achieve your goals, and your goals are being protected. What's in your heart is being protected. And the other card is trust your angels. Let go of the expectation of how your dreams will come true. Trust that heaven has the perfect plan. Yeah, so just what I was just saying, actually, sometimes things don't work out, but rejection is God's protection, okay? So sometimes things don't work out exactly as we want, um, you know, but then something better comes along for us, and then we appreciate it. So a perfect example of that would be like if a marriage broke up, you had to sell your house, move out. This is not what you really planned. When you got married, you were planning to stay together forever, you know? Um, excuse me. That's not what you really planned. But now that you've started your new life, you see potential, freedom that you didn't have before, that maybe you didn't have in this relationship. And I'll give you an example. I shared it in a couple of other readings, actually, because this kind of theme has come up and spirits are encouraging me to share it with you. It came up before, but I didn't mention it in this reading, but it's coming again. This feels like a more appropriate time for me to share it. This reading's not about me, but this is just an example. About over 25 years ago, my son's father, who I was married to, decided to separate and divorce. And it was a very, very challenging time for me, incredibly difficult period in my life. And I was devastated. There was a lot of dissonance. And at that time, I just couldn't see how on earth, Spirit was protecting me, or God was protecting me, or Archangel Michael was protecting me, or that there was a divine plan for me. It took me a little over a year to get my life back together. It was very challenging. But I ended up going back to school. I worked for a while full time, and then I ended up going back to school. And that was one of the best times in my life, and I've never regretted that. It set me on a certain course, a certain direction that I do have no regrets about, and it was one of the most empowering times of my life. And that may have not happened if I was still with that same partner, this same spouse. I don't think I would have gone in that direction if we had stayed together. So at the time, it may have been devastating, but later I learned, okay, I didn't get what I wanted, but it was actually a good thing that I didn't get what I wanted. It was Spirit protecting me and setting me on a different course. And I feel it's like the same for you here. Like there's been some things that have happened that weren't exactly what you wanted, and you're being set on a different course. And I think you're starting to become aware of it. You're planting seeds and focusing on what you want now, okay, without whatever this is that didn't work out. Well, Sagittarius, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I certainly did. If you did, please show this channel some love. In the meantime, I'm wishing you all the very best on your journey, sending you so much love, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.